Hi guys, thank God it's Friday, and today is not just any Friday but a good Friday. So for all the Christians out there, happy celebration. I want to welcome you once again to another insightful tutorial on Lapery College of Fashion YouTube sewing channel. And today's tutorial is all about off-shoulder garments. Drafting an off-shoulder garment usually gives designers a lot of headache. Some designers just dread attempting to making an off-shoulder garment. Never worry, I've got your back covered. In today's tutorial, I shall be opening your eyes to see what you need to know and understand about off-shoulder garments. I'm sure someone is excited about that, and we are going to be doing this professionally. So let's get started. For today's tutorial, I actually have these sketches which I'm going to be using for proper explanation. But first and foremost, let's get some fundamentals right. We need to understand what an off-shoulder garment is for proper identification. So I'll be going ahead to defining an off-shoulder garment as any garment in which the main body of the garment is not hanging on your shoulder line. But now the garment is hanging on your body, but it's not actually hanging on your shoulder line. This garment will be hanging on our body with the help of sleeves being attached this way. These are examples of sleeves being attached. And if they do not have sleeves being attached, they will have straps being attached. This is still an off-shoulder garment because looking at the main body, which is this, it will not hang on your body except with the help of this strap attached. And sometimes you could have your off-shoulder garment as being cut together. The sleeve are cut together with the body. So once again, I'll be defining an off-shoulder garment as any garment in which the main body is not hanging on the shoulder, but is not hanging on our body with the help of sleeves being attached this way, or straps being attached this way, or the sleeves already fused together with the body. And these are the examples for each category. Actually, these are the true off-shoulder garments. Any garment having this outline at the neck, this shape, are the true off-shoulder garments. This now is having the cut of an off-shoulder, but it's not really an off-shoulder garment, because by the time the straps are attached now, it will be hanging just like a shoulder garment, and any type of sleeve will actually work for this type of garment. The only one that will not work will be the basic sleeve pattern will not work. And when you will check most designs that we have, any off-shoulder cut garment with straps like this, the sleeve will usually have some excesses, something puff-like. That's the only type of sleeve that can work. Your basic sleeve without puff, without excess at the shoulder line will not work for this. So this as well is just having the cut of an off-shoulder, but these examples are the real off-shoulder garments. Looking at what I drew here, I actually did this long sleeve covering up to the underarm, likewise this. And for these other ones, these are examples of cap off-shoulder sleeve. You can have it this way, or you can have it still structured like this. And for the striped off-shoulder cut, your strap now might be on the neckline. What I drew here is the one that is staying on the neckline. This other strap now is actually resting or being attached at the armhole. This is the armhole region, and that is where you have this strap being attached, whereas this is the neck region, and this is where you have the strap being attached. So either way, is still an off-shoulder cut garment. Your strap can be on the neck or onto the armhole, and this is the cut together, and the sleeve cut together might be this small and might be this wide. It's still an off-shoulder cut garment. Another thing you need to know is to be able to differentiate an off-shoulder garment from a raglan sleeve garment. Most times the two look alike, but for a professional you should be able to identify and differentiate each from the other. So here is my sketch of a raglan sleeve. Now the sleeve is also part of the neckline, just like what we have here, but the sleeve, the neckline, is usually, it goes upwards more than an off-shoulder garment like this. You can see that the main body now, the neck isn't that wide, more like an off-shoulder. The neckline of the main body is small, so the sleeves now goes up, comes more towards the neckline than what you have for an off-shoulder. These are samples of raglan sleeve garments. Can you now notice the difference between raglan sleeve and off-shoulder garments? So to draft an off-shoulder garment, you will need your basic bodice pattern and your sleeve pattern at the same time. You cannot be working on your bodice without the sleeve. You cannot draft your off-shoulder body, the neckline, the armhole, without putting into consideration or without drafting the sleeve alongside. That is how to get your off-shoulder done professionally, and by the time you're attaching, it sits well and you will not have any issue with your off-shoulder. Wherever it is that you actually want it to rest, whether at the tip of the shoulder or still slightly on the shoulder or actually around the arm region, you will be able to determine this and you are good to go. So for today now, I'll be starting off with something like this, which is more like the outright off shoulder that will just go round the neckline, around the body, and you'll be learning those techniques and those things that you need to put into consideration. To do the design at hand, we need a basic bodice pattern and likewise the sleeve pattern transferred out this way. And as usual, for easy access, once I draft my bodice pattern, at the back is usually the sleeve pattern, which I actually transferred out up to short sleeve length this way. So we are here to know how to draft your bodice pattern using Lapery's simplified and professional method. The links are already on the description box below for body, skirt and sleeve. So having done this now, the first thing that we need to do will be to determine our neck depth for the off shoulder. And to do this, I'll be making use of my bust radius to guide me. So I measure my under bust line this way, which is 14. So from the apex now to that region is 4. I'll be going upwards from my apex now with the same value, 4 inches. Then I'll add extra 1 inch to properly secure my bust region. And with this now, nothing is showing, nothing is revealing, your bust is not showing, but you are free to determine your neck depth. You can do something lower than this or higher. So I'll simply square across on that part and cut off. So having done that now, I'll measure what I have left on the front armhole. And to do this, just take your tape measure and measure it gradually what you have left on the armhole. So having taken that measurement, I get my sleeve pattern. Then this is the front. You make sure you are doing it rightly. Front side of the sleeve aligning with front side of the bodice. So I'll be measuring the same measurement I measure on the bodice, then I mark. So with this, we are done with the front. So here is the back pattern. So I'll be determining my neck depth for the back as well. So but this is bar, nothing is showing, so you can make it as low as possible, or you use that of the front, the cutoff, as a guide to determine your back neck depth as well. But you are free to use it anyhow. You can come down anyhow you want. So I'll square down. So I square across that line then I'll go ahead to cut. So in the same way now, whatever I have left on the armhole of the back, I'll take my sleeve pattern and I'll be measuring the same measurement here on the sleeve. So I'll measure it gradually. So from the underarm on the sleeve, I'll measure it gradually, the same measurement, corresponding measurement. Then I mark. So having marked now, I'll be joining the 2 points, that of the back and front together. Simply draw a line this way. And following that line now, I'll go ahead to cut. And we are simply done. So easy to draft your off-shoulder pattern. So I remove all of those cut-offs now. So these are the patterns. The front armhole aligning this way. This is that of the back armhole aligning this way. So we are simply done. But then because we have lowered our neck, we have cut off some points even on that of the sleeve. There's every tendency that the neck now is wide, and that might result to gaping. So we might need to handle gaping at the front and likewise at the back. But this is dependent on you. So to take care of the gaping, you might do it at the armhole this way and likewise at the armhole of the front. But for this particular design, I want to take care of the back gaping at the armhole this way. So I just simply come inward based on my side dart measurement. Then I connect this way and I cut off. For proper understanding of what I just did here, look up my video on gaping, or you join our paid class on contouring and gaping. So for that of the front, I would like to do the gaping to take care of the gaping at the neck. So I also measure the appropriate measurement for gaping. Then I connect or simply draw a line this way, which I'll be cutting through, and I'll be lapping over the points marked. Taking care of gaping here is not going to reflect any seam. It will not reflect any seam. So I just open up my side dart now here, and I'll lap over the measurement for gaping here at the neckline. Like I said, look up the video on gaping or join our paid class on gaping and contouring for proper understanding. So I simply lap over this region with the help of my gum this way. No seam will reflect, and yet we have done some gaping here. So we are simply done now this way. So we are good to go now to place some fabric, but first let's extend to blouse length. So having extended to blouse length, this is what you shall be having. I already have a detailed video on how to extend your simplified bodice to blouse length. So the link is also on the description box below. Kindly do watch what I've done here. So now we are done with our pattern. We'll be going ahead now, placing on fabric and adding seam allowances. But before we do that, let's take care of this part properly. So I'll be placing it on another paper to fine-tune the side dart. So having filled up, this is what we'll be having, so that the side seam will blend. No excess, you just lay everything aligning this way. So because our dart is wider now from that region to that region, so to construct, it will still blend at the side seam. So we'll go ahead now to place on fabric. So here we are, seam already added as appropriate, and for this garment, no lining. For the side seam, I'll be finishing it up with French seam, and likewise for the armhole region. So let's get started with sewing. So here we have the darts already constructed, the zipper installed. You can see. For the side seam now, I did a French seam, so no need for overlocking. So we'll go ahead now to attach the sleeve and fold the hemline. So here we are done. The sleeve have been attached, and even for this I did a French seam. No need for overlocking. Neat finishing achieved, and the hemline already folded. So this is what we'll be having, so let's try to fit it and see our results. So here we are. No starland drawn, no contouring, no princess, just our bust, side darts and waist darts, and there's no lining. Can you see? And yet it stays glued to my body. It's just laying very well. So depending on where you want the neckline to be, something low this way, it will have gone around the neckline this way, like so. By the time I take care of gaping, even with that seam showing, it just stays wherever you want it to be, like so. So I'll go ahead now, add some elements of designing to the neckline. So as elements of designing, I went further to cut these 2 layers of fabric, which I'll be placing over to dispose round the neckline as frills. So here we are. I've gone ahead to attach the frills around the neckline, and actually did the sewing from wrong side to the right side. So the whole of the raw edges are here. So we are done. Neat finishing all the way. Blouse without lining. So check it now. With frills added. Still the same blouse, like so. No princess, no padding, just side darts and waist darts. The only thing, we took care of gaping here, and it stays in place. Are you loving it? So guys, that is just one sure way of going about the drafting of your off-shoulder garment. It's also possible that we did not take care of any form of gaping the way I did on that particular one. It's also possible that your neckline is actually so wide and low this way, and for this you will not need to take care of any gaping. It will be wide, it will actually come down this way. And it's also possible that it will be at the tip, just like the one I did, and it's still possible that your off shoulder will still be resting slightly on your shoulder line this way. So the drafting of each one actually varies. There are things you need to put into consideration, and likewise when you are doing those ones that having cap sleeve, that the sleeve is not actually covering the underarm point. And likewise for this, since you are going to be having strap either on the shoulder, either on the neck or the arm, or the strap should be able to stay well on your shoulder line. And there are things you also need to put into consideration. And likewise for this, where the sleeve will be fused together. This and this are actually about the same. The only thing is that the cap sleeve attached to this, there's seam line of demarcation. They are actually sewing. While for this, it is still cap sleeve, but there is no seam line of demarcation. The sleeve and the bodice are already fused. Let me try to draw it out like this. Can you see? If I should just put this seam line, I'm already having something like this. If I should put the seam line here this way, I'm already having something like this. So both are cap sleeve, but you're actually sewing, attaching this sleeve here. But for this is already fused together. So I'll be doing some other off-shoulder designs for you to have an insight into how to go about all of them. So for the paid class, kindly contact me on my WhatsApp number for the detailed information. I'm sure you learned a lot from today's video. Kindly give this video a thumbs up. And if you are yet to subscribe, kindly subscribe. And if today is your first time, I'm sorry, I didn't acknowledge you at the beginning of the video. You are highly welcome to the Lapery family. Go ahead as well and subscribe to this channel. And as you are subscribing, also hit that notification bell so that you get notified each time we upload videos every Friday. Until next Friday, when I'll be uploading another one, take care of yourself. Bye for now.
Lapery College of Fashion, raising professionals.